All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another NBA offseason video. We are in the deep goings on of the NBA offseason, and there's nothing really to talk about. There are a few things that I need to get to, but I think one of the most prevalent ones, and one that is sort of in the zeitgeist, so to speak, that's been floating around again, is that why is Russell Westbrook not signed yet? He's not an NBA team. This guy, Russell Westbrook, nine-time All-Star, um, 2016, 2017 MVP, two-time scoring champ, nine-time All-NBA, two-time All-Star Game MVP, and was selected for the 75th anniversary team of the NBA. And this has been talked about over the last couple months. There's been a lot of rumors floating around. And more recently, I think it was a couple days ago, there was a video of him shooting hoops on a yacht. Um, I don't know where, but it just came up on my feed, and I saw it, and people were talking about it, and it came up again. Like, why isn't he on a team? And I just want to talk about it a little bit. In front of you is the last couple teams he's played for. He played a majority of his career in Oklahoma City. They're not in this picture because everybody knows him as a Oklahoma City Thunder. These are his other stops that probably aren't as well known. Some of them are pretty well known for other reasons. I want to dive into some of the rumors of where he could sign, some of the reasons why he's not signed, and all that good stuff. So if you like what I say, like the video. If you have your own opinions, comment it down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. So yeah, Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple Double. Um, why isn't he on a team? And I want to make this very clear here, right at the top, is I'm not a Russell Westbrook fan by any stretch of the imagination. I think more recently I've become a little bit more bipartisan. Like don't, I just don't have a feeling about him. I think we all just want the best for him at this point because he is, he's been in the league 17 years. Um, he was drafted in 2008, and what a lot of people are theorizing is that this might be the end of the road. Um, this he just might not get picked up, and we're about, I would say, a month out from training camp, from when people have to report to training camp, give or take a couple days here or there. It's the 28th of August, so yeah, next month is 28th of September, yeah, and then opening days mid October. So yeah, we're about a month out from training camp, um, and I just sort of want to talk about, as somebody who isn't a fan, as somebody who's just become more neutral on Russell Westbrook, because in the mid 2000 teens, I really wasn't the biggest fan of him. Um, I think at times he was overrated. I think at other times he was underrated. I think over the last couple stops he's had, he's been more malleable. He's been more open to having a different role. But in having that different role, he is still the same Russell Westbrook. For his career, in a 17-year NBA career, he averages 4 turnovers a game. His 3-point percentage, 30, right? His field goals are around 17 attempts for his career. He makes 7. Um, yeah, yeah, right? 7 field goals made? Yeah. Yeah, makes 7, yeah, somewhere around there. Has highs of attempts of 22 and then makes of 10. So there's that. And I think when it comes down to, and we'll dive into the numbers a little bit more here in a minute, is Russ can't get out of his own way. And what I have always thought, and what everybody has always thought, is all heart, all hustle. He gives it 110%. I don't think there's ever been a time I've seen Russell Westbrook not give it 110%. When he's been a starter, when he's come off the bench, when he's been an MVP, when the last couple years when he's been in six man of the year conversations. Um, I don't think I've never seen Russ not try. He always gives it his all. He's somewhat relatively healthy throughout the course of his career. I mean, it has dipped a little bit. There are seasons of 46, 57, 50, um, but it has never really dipped below 50. He's always played at least somewhere around between 50 and 70-ish games. He's played 82 games 4 times in his career. That was very early on though. And to my point, last year in the final, in the playoffs, pardon me, when he was with the Nuggets, he couldn't get out of his own way. He I forget the exact play, but you will recall this if you had watched the game. He had gotten the ball. He was sprinting down the court at the end of the game when it was a close game versus the Timberwolves. He smoked a layup. He absolutely missed a layup, and then the Timberwolves got it back. They threw it up the court. I forget it was Jada McDaniels or Nikhil Alexander Walker in the corner or somebody like that. One of the role players for the Timberwolves, and Russell Westbrook just comes flying through and he fouls the shooter. Um, he fouls the shooter on a 3-point shot, and that is a culmination of Russ's career in the sense of he wants to do good. He always wants to do good on the court. He always wants to be impactful, but sometimes you're forcing it a bit too much. You're overdoing it. You don't need to do those things sometimes. And it's the same thing with the passes. I've always been very critical of Russell Westbrook's designation as a point guard, even though he has seasons of averaging, I'm looking at 10 assists here, 11 assists. Um, Russell Westbrook is not a great passer. He can get the ball to people, to other players, but he's not a great passer. For years, he got bailed out by doing this little dump off pass to Steven Adams. I mean, you look at his years in Oklahoma here. We go all the way from 2008 to what year is this? 2010 or 2018, pardon me. 2000, basically 2009, 2019, right? He was a career 4 turnovers a game. 4 turnovers, 8 assists. So for every 4 assists he was getting, he turned it over 4 times. Insanity, right? He did play, on average, he did play 34 minutes per game. Um, he was asked to do a lot on a lot of those Oklahoma City Thunder teams, but still, it persists. Um, in every other stop he's been at, he hasn't been when he's played at least 30 minutes, somewhere around 30 minutes or more. He's always averaged four turnovers. He almost got the 5 1 year. But there is a 5 in here. There's a 5. This was his it was his 1, 2, 3, like his third to last year in Oklahoma. He has a 5 turnover average in one of these seasons. That's the season he won MVP, but 5 turnovers. Um, and when he's not played 30 plus minutes, when he's been more in a role player role, bench role, like 20, 25 minutes per game, it's only 3 turnovers, which makes sense. The less time you play, the less turnovers you have. But over the course of his last couple stops, I feel like Russ, in a lot of these stops, I mean, we can go through them here in order. Houston Rockets, top left, bottom left. Washington Wizards, top right. Los Angeles Lakers, bottom right. LA Clippers, and the middle, his most recent stop in Denver with the Nuggets. In Houston, I think it was just wrong, right team, wrong time, because they ran into the what was it at the time? It was the Lakers with Anthony Davis and LeBron James in the bubble. That was like 2020, around that year. Yeah, 2019, 2020. He was only there for one season. Um, I actually liked him in Houston, even though I was a Warriors fan and I was rooting against the Rockets, and I still root against the Rockets. um, I think that was some of the best positionless basketball I ever seen, purely because Russell Westbrook made it work, and he's a triple double guy, at least 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, any given night. Those numbers can fluctuate, but he's a great rebounder for a guard, and he made that system work with the Rockets. Um, and then he got traded, and then it was just over. It was so quick. It was over. He spent 1 year in Houston, and then it was over. Um, then he was a Wizard, and he was in MVP conversations again as a Wizard. Um, he placed 11th. Who was in that conversation that year? Let me see here. He was 11th. So get this, right? This is 2020, 2021, right? I'm gonna read you guys the MVP voting here. We have Russell Westbrook at 11. We have Rudy Gobert at 10. We have Derrick Rose at 9. Julius Randle at 8. Lillard at 7. Luka Doncic at 6. Chris Paul at 5. Giannis at 4. Steph Curry at 3. Joel Embiid at 2. And Nikola Jokic won the thing. But having Russell Westbrook behind Rudy Gobert and Rudy Gobert getting any MVP votes, it's absolutely hilarious. Um, Nevertheless, in his time in Washington, I feel like he redeemed himself a little bit. He redeemed himself enough to get another chance. But he had a good year, brought a middling Wizards team to some relevancy, and he was looked at as the guy on that team. And you're gonna see a familiar theme when he's looked at as the guy. He plays very well. You know, in Houston, in Washington, he plays very well. The teams usually don't do well, but they he plays well. He played good enough in Washington to get a look by the Lakers. Um, and that whole I can't even in the moment everybody was blaming Russell Westbrook. And I think even me, I was blaming Russell Westbrook a little bit. But I was more blaming Russell Westbrook and the front office for agreeing on this because that team was not good. When he was on the Lakers, that team was not good. It was not good at all. It was a really bad Lakers team. Um, 2021, 2022. Um, yeah, this was that team. I'm gonna go through this team, right. There's, geez, they don't even have the ages next to their name. Okay, let's see. So you have Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza, DJ Augustine, Kent Bazemore, Avery Bradley, Darren Collison, Anthony Davis, Sekou Doumbouya, Wayne Ellington, Wayne and Gabriel, Taylor Horn Tucker, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, Stanley Johnson, DeAndre Jordan, Mac McClung, Malik Monk, Austin Reeves, Rajon Rondo, Isaiah Thomas, and Russell Westbrook. I see about, what is this? There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's about 12 people on this roster that were born in the 80s. Just let that say. There's about 12 people. There's about a dozen people on this Lakers team that was born in the 80s that have 10 plus years of NBA experience. And I've always looked back on this team. I think a lot of people have. And you look at the amount of people that are either retired or out of the league that were on this roster not 4 years ago. Was this, yeah, 2022? So 4 years ago. This was the Lakers roster 4 years ago. Carmelo Anthony retired. Trevor Ariza retired. I think DJ Augustine and Ken Bazemore are still playing somewhere, maybe. Avery Bradley in a front office job now. Darren Collison still playing. Anthony Davis traded. Sekou Doumbouya bust. Wayne Ellington retired. Taylor Horn Tucker on the Bulls, I think. Dwight Howard retired, playing in the Big Three. LeBron James still there. Stanley Johnson out of the league, but probably should be in the league. DeAndre Jordan, champion with the Nuggets a couple years ago. Mac McClung out of the league. I don't think he's on a team anymore. Malik Monk in Sacramento. Austin Reeves still with the team. Rajon Rondo in a coaching capacity in the NBA, I believe, or player development. Isaiah Thomas. Russell Westbrook, soon to be retired. I don't know. But I say all that about the Lakers to say it wasn't all Russ's fault. This team was very old. This team was poorly constructed. The madman that thought that this would work was insane. Um, and the Russell Westbrook thing never worked out. He never looked comfortable in a Lakers jersey. And then he got traded to the Clippers. and he spent was this 2.5 seasons with the Clippers. Yeah, 2.5 seasons. Got more comfortable with that bench role. Had some really good moments with the Clippers from 2022 to 2024. Had some good years. I mean, his field goal percentage went back up. His um his 3-pointer slightly went back up for like half a year. His 2-pointers went back up. Um, he has lowest turnover. Um, what would you call this season ever in 2023-2024 with only 2 turnovers. Um, I think he played. He felt more comfortable being a Clipper than he ever did a Laker, and I think that was a culmination of the team that was around him, Tyronn Lue being a good coach, and I think a lot of these stops also are indicative of Mike D'Antoni when it was with the Rockets, when Russ was with the Rockets. Good coach. I don't even know who the Wizards coach was, but Russell Westbrook had a good year. Lakers, I mean, shit, we can go look again because I just closed the damn thing. I don't even know who the Lakers coach was then. Wasn't Vogel? Who was it? Was it Darvin Ham? Oh no, it was Frank Vogel. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was Frank Vogel. Yeah, they went 39-49. Yeah, um, didn't play well. Not saying Frank Vogel's a bad coach or a good coach. He's okay, but like he didn't use Russ properly. And then the Clippers, Tyronn Lue, better coach, used Russell Westbrook in a much better capacity, and he had a good 2 years with the Clippers. And then finally here with the Nuggets this past season, um, a, a pretty solid year by his standards. I mean, not much change from the Clippers to the Lakers the Nuggets. I mean, he started 36 games. He hasn't started. The last time he started that many was 2022, 2023, and he played 75 games. Played 27 minutes, which was really good. Um, 44% from field goal, 32% from three. A better 3-point shooting year because it dipped back down the year previously. Um, let's see here. Turnovers, 3.2. What are you gonna do? And pretty well rounded. I mean, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 13 points. I mean, what do you expect from a guy that's been in the league 17 years, right? And that's the thing about Russ also is that he has lost some of his explosiveness, but he doesn't look his age. He still has that competitive spirit. He still has that fire, and that's something to commend and admire. But again, Russ can't stay out of his own way. I, I, that's really it. I mean, I think I think he's had moments. He's had flashes of where he could be a part of something special. I've always maintained the fact that you can never win with Russell Westbrook on your team, win a championship. Not because Russ is bad, but because Russ is just himself. And him being himself got him an MVP. It got him multiple All Star appearances. But towards the end of your career, being yourself doesn't really help you. And to his credit, he has transformed his game a little bit. There's still those old tendencies. I think Russ being with the Clippers and with the Nuggets, 2 back-to-back really good years, like good role player years, I think should help him in pursuing another team to play on. But people are always going to look at the bad years with the Lakers, um, as the most notable. And I think Russ deserves one more chance. I really think he does. Um, in what capacity and what team? I don't know. You also have to think about this. Um, this is sort of the NBA market now, in which you really, really can't have a guy who can't shoot anymore on your team. It has to be a big man that can't shoot. And if he can't shoot threes, he has to be able to shoot free throws. Um, Guys like Russ, guys like Ben Simmons, who just can't shoot, just slowly fade out of the league, And I think people thought his career was over in 2020, 2021, when he got banished to the Wizards when he was 32 years old, and he's managed to play till he's 36 in his last team in Denver. And yeah, let's move on to some potential teams that he could play for. Um, the best odds. These are odds by who is this by? This is Bovada Official, America's favorite sports book, not sponsored. Um, they have the odds here for Russell Westbrook's next team. The favorites to land Russell Westbrook, I should say, by the odds. First up is the Miami Heat. I like the Heat. I think the Heat could use somebody like Russ. I think the Heat have some semblance of enough shooting so they could cover up Russ a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be running Russ, Hero, a small forward, and then Bam, and then Khalil Ware, a guy who three of those guys really can't shoot. Khalil Ware is a bit better of a shooter, but man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that actually. I'd like to think it could work, but who knows? The Mavs, no, no, I don't think the Mavs would work. I don't think that would work. I mean, you already have D'Angelo Russell, another turnover ball hog sort of guy. You don't need Russell Westbrook. Um, the Kings, we're going to talk about the Kings more in a minute. Put a pin in that. This is an order, by the way, from one to what is this? One, two, three, four, one to like seven or eight. Um, okay. The next is the Golden State Warriors. Thank you, but no thank you. I will politely decline. Even though it might be slightly interesting to see Russ and Steph play together. Um, because Steph has always been a little bit better in an off ball sort of role with a more dominant guard. Well, I should say it this way: Steph gets his best shots when he's not the main ball handler, when he's working off the screens and stuff. That's what I meant to say. And then we have the Orlando Magic. No, I don't. I think the Orlando Magic have a good roster. They have everything set. I don't think they need to add Russ. Oklahoma City returned to where his career started. Maybe I don't know if that would work out, but maybe. um, maybe I don't know him and Alex Caruso in the backcourt, perhaps. Yeah, maybe. So thus far, we've had I've given the Heat the okay, or just the Heat. I literally would only have him on the Heat right now, and then we have oh boy, let me try to say this one. Heppel, Hepiel, Hepiel Tel Aviv. Yeah, so yeah, they have an overseas team listed here in Tel Aviv. So that's how bad his market is right now. And then that was rumored. They offered him a lot of money, and then they came out, so we never offered them that money. They still have him here. And then the Toronto Raptors. Maybe I don't know. The Toronto Raptors are so cluttered right now with an excess of talent. Adding Russell Westbrook really doesn't help you in that department to declutter your talent. Um, I mean, if you get rid of RJ Barrett and like maybe Emmanuel quickly, it could be okay, but I just don't see that one happening. So the only one I really like is the Miami Heat. And then I said put a pin in the Sacramento Kings. I do have an article here. The Sacramento Kings have been the one that people have been talking about the most. Um, this was reported by Adam Wells at Bleacher Report on today. It was updated today. The Kings reportedly resisting the urge to sign Russell Westbrook amid Kaminga rumors. So they're essentially waiting for either to get Kaminga and then sign Westbrook, and Kaminga's a restricted free agent, and the Warriors haven't budged on any of that. If you want to check out that video about Jonathan Kaminga, put a card in the top right corner. You can click it; it'll take you right to the video. Um, I don't think that's going to happen, so they might just have to sign Russ. I'm going to read this right here. Um, bit of this article. I'll put it in the description or the comments. You guys can read it if you want to read it. As the Sacramento Kings continue to ponder a potential deal for Jonathan Kuminga, it is otherwise holding up other moves the team has also considered making. Per the Athletic, Sam Amick, the Kings have been resisting the urge, quote unquote, to make smaller deals, including a long discussed Russell Westbrook signing because they have been waiting for a resolution on the Kuminga situation. Sacramento at one point aggressively trying to acquire Kuminga in a sign and trade deal with the Golden State Warriors. Amick reported on August 1st the Kings offered a package of Malik Monk in a 2030 lottery protected pick, first round pick that the Warriors turned down. That's kind of that's stupid. If this was an unprotected lottery pick, I'd say yes to this trade. You can have Jonathan Kuminga. I'll take Malik Monk. You give me that 2030 unprotected. I got you. Um, they're talking about Jonathan Kuminga here. Well, the Kings have been holding out hope for Kuminga. They have also been circling around Russell Westbrook. NBA insider Mark Stein reported on Sunday that Sacramento has maintained an interest in the nine-time All-Star. There was a point in the early offseason when it seemed like the Kings' desire to add Russell Westbrook was contingent on trading Monk or Devin Carter, though unclear if that remains the case. Um, Sacramento's signing of Doug McDermott last night did put the roster at the maximum of 15 players, so the deal for Westbrook would require the front office to make another move. So yeah, the Kings are full. They're full on their roster spots. They cannot sign anybody. And I don't think they can convert anybody to a two-way deal either, because you can literally only have 15 players on a roster. Um, so yeah, that's the Russell Westbrook right there. The Russell Westbrook. Jeez, that's the Russell Westbrook news. Jeez, that's the Russell Westbrook. That was a bad one. I'm sorry. But yeah. So, where do I stand on this after giving you this whole spiel? I think he deserves another chance. Just one more. Um, if it's in Sacramento, I don't foresee it going well. I haven't even thought about Sacramento in any playoff conversations at all. I am gonna do some breakdowns of teams a couple weeks from now. Um, every NBA team. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but we'll do it. And I don't know how what it's a very Kings move, and it's a very bad career move for Russell Westbrook, but it might be his only chance to play basketball again, and you might just have to take it. Um, that being said, it looks like if the Kings can't make any roster moves, any openings for Russ, this is it. This is it. A unsanctimonious end for a MVP. Probably the most unsanctimonious end for an MVP. I mean, this is up there with Allen Iverson, man. This is up there with Allen Iverson at the end of his career. It rings very similarly to a Allen Iverson. Let me see real quick. Allen Iverson, yeah, Allen Iverson he played 14 years, so Russ is a bit longer of a career, but the same their basketball reference the last we'll say what Allen Iverson was, yeah, so from 30 to like 34, right? Russ is 36, the rest is 2 more years. The basketball reference looks about the same. There's a lot of bouncing around, there's a lot of traded mid-season. um it looks eerily similar. It's very similar. I mean, for reference, Allen Iverson, from the time he was 30, he was in Philadelphia, Denver, Detroit, Memphis, and then back to Philly, and then he played in another pro league at the end of his career. So that's what? That's one, two, three, four teams. Yeah, very similar trajectory to Russell Westbrook, and a very unsanctimonious end for Allen Iverson as well. So I hope the best for us, even though I'm not the biggest fan. I don't think anybody deserves to go out like this and just thrown to the wayside. Um, I've been very critical of Russ in the past, but I think somebody like him deserves. I'll use the word a more heroic end versus a going out like this, going out quietly, so to speak. So yeah, that's it. That is all. Um, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You will get a video this weekend. You will not get a video on Friday if you're listening to this on Friday. Check out my other stuff. I have a whole WNBA playlist. I have a whole NBA playlist. Uh, just check it out. And yeah, I think that's it. That's it. Working on a really big video. Hopefully that'll be out sometime next week or the week after that. And then yeah, you guys will get more regularly scheduled stuff. NBA season is around the corner. WNBA stuff is heating up. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for all that. And I will see you all next time. Cheers.